Episode number 203 with Dylan Thomassie. Welcome to the Heads Up Poker Podcast. This is Steve Barton.
And this is loyal sidekick, Mike Snyderman.
Mikey, how the hell are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
I'm getting rid of Carlos soon, so things are looking up.
He's still there. Nice.
Yeah, he's right. He's right here, but you know.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know. Is too much Carlos too much of a good thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I think a light dusting of Carlos each and every time is just makes the heart grow fonder.
You can't have three Carloses. You can't have three cupcakes a day, though, Steve. Your health begins to deteriorate.
Well,
Steve, I want to start with a very important question right away.
Okay.
Who's your favorite serial killer?
Ooh.
Me and Carlos are become scholars almost of serial killers here. It's amazing how much entertainment there is out there.
Are you just binge watching Netflix?
I'm ashamed to admit, well, there's all sorts of true crime shit on TV too. I'm ashamed to admit I already knew a lot about it. So it's fun being like an expert for once on something.
Yes. Those shows are quite fascinating. There's a reason Dexter is, was number one.
Right.
Yeah.
Carlos, who's your favorite? Most interesting.
I would think about it.
Okay. He's got the Ted Bundy documentary is pretty interesting, although, yeah, it was pretty good. He's about the closest you get to pure evil.
Yes.
Where it's not. I mean, there's the bad background and stuff, but he wants to kill people and inflict as much humiliation and pain as he can. Speaking of pain and humiliation,
yeah,
who's being forced to come on your show today, Steve? Whose arm did you twist?
Yeah, well, I kind of got him in a rear naked choke, and just as he was tapping, then he agreed to come on the show. So I don't want to hide the lead any longer. Dylan Thomassie, you and I met him, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago through the TPE community. And I think since then he's probably taken several $100s off me in shuffleboard. Just a Vegas pro, a grinder online and live. And right now he's in the 3,500 at the Venetian. I got 1% of him. I wish
day two must be tomorrow. That's why he can come on today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So
he's been around for a long time. He had some big scores from like Full Tilt, like 10 years. He looks like he's like 23. So he might be, like Daryl Jace won the Sunday Million when he was 15. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if I don't know his backstory. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those kids though that dropped out of high school and poker's the only thing he's ever done.
Yeah. I'm excited to find out. But he's a lot of fun to hang out with. He hung around with you guys when I was at the final table a couple weeks ago in Vegas, and just a real smart guy when it comes to playing cards, and just a nice guy all around. So, Dylan, I'm excited. So how have you been since Vegas? I know you kind of boned out that night, and then Carlos and I got on the mic the next day. Are you back to grinding at the casinos, playing cash and all that?
Yeah. I came back from Vegas and immediately had a little upswing on cash to kind of ease the pain of Vegas, but then I've had a really bad stretch, which is basically on the edge again, Steve.
Okay.
You're like, I'm still hysterical, but it's not hysterical. It's like hysterical that like the hysteria is going to end possibly soon.
Okay.
Like I'm saying I'm close to broke. You've heard me complain about this all the time, but I feel like, I'm going to dig. Last night I went in and after like being down 7K over the past week, and I won 2,400, and I'm got some decent sleep. I'm going to go take a shower and go in and kick some ass today. So,
Okay, good deal. Well, today's Saturday, so it should be a good day, at least as far as the weekend warriors come out. It should be softer, right?
Yeah. There's just more people and more games going on. So that's usually just what you're looking for. During the week, sometimes those games die at midnight, and or I gotta move to 2-3 at midnight, which is just less chips on the table and going to be a lower hourly.
Yeah.
I played the online tournament last week for the first time in a while. And, Carlos was here. I don't know. He saw me make the final table of a 50K, and then
Nice.
I didn't pull those hands up because I bluffed. I think it might have been like second in chips and finished ninth or something.
Oh, those ones are frustrating.
Yeah, a couple dubious bluffs. This is right. I could have used it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. That happens. How about what's new with you, Steve? What new passion have you discovered in the last 6 hours?
Oh, okay. I got a couple of things. I came back from New York City. I got to meet Clayton Fletcher and Alex Fitzgerald in the flesh.
I didn't know that. Where'd you guys go? I didn't. Where'd you guys meet? Together?
I went out there for St. Patty's Day with a bunch of firemen. First thing I said to Clayton was, I said, wow, you're actually taller than I expected. I was expecting like a Fred Rogan, 5'7" guy for some reason, but no, he's probably at least 6 foot. Looks exactly like his pictures. He's just about 27% bigger than I envisioned. Alex, he came with his girlfriend.
He's got a squirrely little personality, but he's a normal looking, good looking guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Alex met him and his girlfriend. He was nice enough to bring me a hard copy of one of his books, and he asked if I had any fireman buddies that also like poker. So there's a couple of guys at work.
You got a free book?
I got a free book, signed, autographed, with a little inspiration note in there.
Did you actually ask him to autograph it, or is he?
No, he just did. And I've listened to his book twice now on Audible, and I'm kind of excited to read the paper version because now I can like highlight and kind of, get down maybe the top 10 things that I can get out of the book. And probably some of the biggest ones are just 3-betting. Just 3-bet the shit out of people when you're in position and they're weaker players. Like you'll just print money.
What was the note in the book? Is like, congratulations, Steve, your podcast sucks a little less since you got rid of Mike. Anything like
that? Something to the effect of this is my playbook that's been printing money for years. I hope it, I hope you get as much out of it as I. Something along.
You started it.
Yeah. But anyways, a very good book. So thank you, Alex. Clayton, it was awesome to see you. What else do I got going on? We got a fire last night. I'm running on about 2.5 hours sleep. It was a big pallet and cardboard box fire outside of a concrete tilt-up commercial building. I was first in on that, which means I was the first. My engine company was the first one there. So those ones are especially exciting for me because you kind of have to set everything up.
Come on. One steady stream of Barton piss will put out a fucking pallet, for God's sakes.
Well, this was about a 60 foot by 60 foot by 30 foot high bunch of pallets and
boxes. Okay.
So this was it was the biggest bonfire you've ever seen. And it was neat to kind of take the role of not necessarily being in there, working the hose lines, but kind of standing back, looking at the whole thing, looking over it like God and placing your units and articulating that over the radio as they're coming in. And it was fun.
You don't have the how would a fireman get fired there? Who's the chief does it, I guess. Obviously you guys have a strong union, so it would go through. Have you ever been part of that? Like you had to bear witness to some incompetent fireman who's putting everybody in jeopardy, who doesn't know what he's doing, blah, blah, blah,
things like that come up every now and then. It's few and far between, but every now and then it certainly can happen. Yeah. Okay. If you're going to get let go, it's usually going to be in the first year. Because that's kind of your feeling out period, seeing if this guy is someone that you want for the next 29 years.
Sure.
We typically weed out, let's say we hire a class of 20. By the time that year is up, we're usually left with 12 or 13.
Okay.
So you kind of get, you can tell whether they're going to work or not within that first amount of time. And if you start with 20 within like 4 weeks, you're probably down to 15. And then those last 3 come in the next 11 and 11
right.
months. You can just tell,
how much Sorry, Steve. I got to start. I told myself that was one of my New Year's things. I was going to be better to you in the podcast and prepare a little bit better, but I'm just jumping off subject to subject like I normally do.
Yeah, sometimes these are the best ones where we just spitball and catch up. I feel like we got to talk before we get Dylan on because we got so much shit to catch up on. You know,
I was going to ask if you've come up with any taking out the calendar and figure out what your summer dates for Vegas are.
That was next on my list, sir. We're down for the tag team, right? We've been talking about this for 4 years.
Well, if I go to Vegas, Steve,
Jesus.
I'm fucking broke. I mean, I think I'm still have enough of a, just because I've had a couple decent scores in poker, I probably can still get as much money as I want to play. I mean, if I wanted to go for 10 days and play $15,000 in tournaments, I probably could sell 80-90% of myself at low markup.
We could
charge you.
We could pimp it out like we always do and get you.
Well, my point is, I would have a very small piece of myself, and the cash games probably here in Southern California, they're softest during the summer, where a lot of pros go there. So, basically, if I'm intelligent at all, I should not be going to Vegas at all, quite frankly. Other than and as we get older, it's kind of like that whole TPE crowd. They used to rent a house together, and now it's just
Now, Mark and Derek sharing a little 2-bedroom apartment now.
Well, or just coming in for a weekend and stuff. You get that response.
Well, if you're going to do it, then come in for the weekend of the tag team event. That I have to. I got to leave unless we go far. The tag team starts the 24th.
Unless we go far, Steve. Do you think I'd let you even breathe on a chip if we make day 2? I'll hire Carlos to sit on you in the hotel room. You can't move.
I tell you what, if we make it to the buddy bubble, I got to sit down for that part. I'll get us in.
I think I've already discussed this with you. My idea of playing the tag team and why I really honestly didn't want to play with you is I wanted a situation with like Carlos has, one on either side, whether it's just a top pro where with Assassinato, I play the first orbit and then just wish him luck.
Slap him on the ass.
Or the other way, I just find some newbie 2-3 player who I happen to know, fucking I don't care, stripper or whatever. Maybe even a buddy from college who I run. I'll sometimes bump into them there, and basically they play the first 15 minutes. I tell them to play Jacks plus, then they get the hell out of there.
Jacks plus, Ace Queen suited plus, and good luck.
But with you, me, and Jason, it'll be different. I think I'm going to just probably ask to play early and let you guys take over, because I don't want to be I'm the one who's most likely to make a big bluff. And actually, Jason does that too. He makes some big bluffs. So I don't want to bluff off the chips, and I don't want to feel like I'm not. We'll see. I don't know. Day 2, I think if we get down to the final few tables, that's a situation I'd probably bid in a lot more than you two guys.
That I think is where we should certainly pass the torch. The thing, and it sounds like Jason might be similar to you, is that you tend, Carlos and I talked about this last week, is you tend to either get a big stack early and then just start bulldozing, or you're out. And you know what, man? This is no different than when, like I bought a piece of Dylan yesterday. I've 80% chance he's going to bust. You know what I mean? But he squeaked in.
No, I mean, obviously, you guys.
Yeah, there would be no love lost for that.
You guys understand variance, so it's not like.
Of course.
It's not like if we build a big stack on the first 2 levels, you'd be, my God, how do we not cash this thing? You know what I mean? So, yeah, okay, but I don't know. That like I said, seems like the natural way, anyways, for me that I would feel comfortable. It's basically one person playing the tournament. And and I don't want to be there and have to come over to the rail like every time. Did you see he scratched his nose with his 2 fingers that time, rather than just have me try to pay attention to all this shit that I never pay attention to. But there is other stuff going around that time. I looked at that's a pretty good time to come out. I could look closer.
Okay.
I think
I'll be out around June 8th until I think June 25th. So
I was just going to say, I think the monster stack starts a couple days before the tag team.
Okay.
So if I make day 2 of the monster stack, maybe I can't do. I mean, I can do the very minimum, the tag team, and
Okay.
shoot.
Well, I think you only have to play one orbit, and then you're.
Yeah,
then you're
exactly.
good.
So and there's a
Either
couple of.
way, that'll be it's a grand, right? So $333 each. I mean.
Yeah. No, that's that's an actually another decent reason to.
Right.
I'll have to look. If I go out there, like I said, I would have to sell a big piece of myself. I have to cut expenses. You know, if I'm out there for 10 days, get my 5 free nights at Harrah's and find something cheap for the time. And I don't know. I mean, I'm getting excited as we talk about this, although I told myself, I got to stay out of Vegas until I have more money in my Bank of America steel box there. You know, right now there's not much in there. So, yeah. I talked to Alex, was talking about getting some housing, and yeah, right now they don't have. I told them I would definitely, if I come out, it's not going to be for very long, and I can't commit to any housing. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get enough guys to get.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be staying with my brother, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you stayed with me. You'd have your own room with your own bathroom. The last time, that's what I imagined, but I thought you guys were leaving the night before I was getting there, so I didn't even call.
What's for breakfast, Steve? Steve, by the way, is a great cook. I mean, is there anything you can't do, Barton?
Oh, thank you. Have I cooked for you? I don't remember.
At the house in Vegas, you made an omelet one morning, and it wasn't just like my omelets, which I haven't made it for years. It's just eggs and then throw some. Somehow there was like Spanish spices with you finely diced this and that, and it was a work of art, Steve.
Thank you. I do like to cook. It's fun to me. I like it. I do enjoy it. I wanted to read off email from Dean. Sorry, Dean, it's taken me 5 episodes to get to this. I hinted at it a couple ago. He asked me about day trading, how to get started, how it works, what are you looking for? He's not the only one that's hit me up. There's been a few on Twitter. If you guys, Dean, I'll shoot you back and we can talk over the phone, or we can do a Skype screen share, and I can show you exactly what it is that I'm doing. And it's really not difficult. You're just looking for patterns, and it's the same thing as like getting dealt pocket 8s on the button. It would be a mistake to fold it. You're not going to always win with it, but your odds are good. It's the same kind of thing. It's a lot like poker. Yeah, I'll show you what it is that I'm doing, and if you're really interested and want to take it to the next level, I can hook you up with the guy that taught me. But
maybe Steve, if you're success, this could be another Barton. This guy charges $5,000, and you undercut him. Say $30 and a can of Pringles. I'll tell you everything I know, which is
caramel, huh?
Which is frankly an upcharge for these poor bastards. But hey, they don't know that.
Yes. But I want to thank you guys for doing all the Elliot Roe links over the year, all the TPE memberships. Really appreciate it. The scholarship is coming up, and it looks like this year we're going to hit about $2,500. So pretty cool. That's after overhead, after paying Andrew, my editor, and just all the costs of doing the podcast. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. And I think we're coming up on it. We can bring in, let's take a quick break, and we'll bring in Dylan Thomassie. Tired of playing great poker for 8 hours and then tilting it all the way on one hand? Elliot Roe. I will not play a hand of poker unless I listen to that man's voice first. Meditation tapes just before you play. Get in the right mindset so you can focus on poker. Listen to an MP3 before you play. You put it right on your phone, your computer, your tablet. He has MP3s for everything. Live cash, online MTTs, post-game cooldown, the Mindset Booster package, which comes with 5 MP3s, confidence, motivation, recovery, volume, study booster, the simple volume system. Try it for free. There's no obligation. Listen to his 7-minute Tilt-Buster. It's free from me to you. This is the next step in poker. The Mindset Advantage by Elliot Roe. Use the code HUPOKER, score yourself a discount. All the links are in the show notes. Elliot Roe. Dylan, thank you for coming on the show.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yes. So congratulations. You made day 2.
Yes, I did.
Yes, of the 3,500 Venetian.
Yep, it'll be tomorrow. Today's day 1B, so luckily I didn't have to play that.
Yes, I was happy about that because we get to have you on the show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
How many runners yesterday?
I didn't see the final number. I think it got like 240, 250 maybe.
So probably a little more today. You would think 400 or something maybe.
Yeah, 400 to 500 I would expect.
Let's do the maths. There's 3 starting days or 2?
2.
Okay, let's see. 2 million in the prize pool or something. 500 for first. 400 something for first. That sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah,
And I got 1% now. So is this since you don't have to fire bullet 2? Is it that I get the other? Because I guess essentially right now I've given you 2%.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get the other one back, or would it be cheating if we call it 2%?
Nice try, Barton.
I see what you're doing.
Even when Steve's being a slimy, even when Steve is being a slimy bastard, he's friendly. You don't notice it. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That was good. In there. You don't even feel it.
Why don't you let me hold your wallet while you go to the bathroom?
I gotcha.
I hear people are getting jumped in there.
I assume he knew how it worked, so I didn't know what he was getting at. But now that.
Oh, right on. Well, congratulations! You got 100 big blinds going into day 2 if my fuzzy math is correct.
Yeah.
What's that?
This is an elite poker pro, Steve. You don't congratulate him for getting a day 2.
After 8 levels, yeah, it's only 8 levels of these WPT.
We only offer a fist bump for final table. Congratulations, come out.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I'm optimistic.
I'm very curious. We don't always ask this question. How you get started in poker? Because I was saying, like, I'm guessing that you're one of those guys that started like really early, like high school. You were already playing.
I started so my dad he would play online on party poker. He would just play like little sit and goes. I think I was probably like 16 or so. And when he was done, I would jump on and play. And, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I would win here and there. And then my friends would play little home games, and I would probably win, I don't know, like half the time, I guess. But I knew that I could win. Like, I knew there was, like strategy involved and like a way to get better.
Skill, yeah.
Yeah, I had friends that were playing. I had actually one friend that was playing like 3-6 cash games online.
Wow.
And like just watching like the stakes and like how much money he was winning was pretty insane to me. And I was like, okay, like maybe I'll make an effort to get better. So yeah, I started at the very bottom playing $1 tournaments, like MTTs, and eventually just like built my bankroll doing that, and just kind of moved up on my own. Followed like bankroll management guidelines. Did those? I don't know if you remember the $4.40 180 mans on Poker Stars.
Yep.
We did like challenges and stuff like that, and I was winning those like crazy, and that allowed me to move up pretty fast too.
Were you already like thinking at that level, like bankroll moving up, like you already sort of had a long-term plan? You weren't just jumping on there with money and fucking around?
No, like all my friends made fun of me for playing so small. Like my friends would always play like $50 tournaments with $100 bankroll.
Yeah. And
then I mean, it's obviously money they could lose, but like you can't build a bankroll like that. You just hope to get lucky and win one of them or cash, final table or whatever. But they'd always just be reloading and I'm sitting there with like 100 buy-ins for whatever I'm rolled for. And like consistently moving up. So, but yeah, so I think I remember winning a $20 180 man. It was $1,000, like my first 4-figure score, and just being like so excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just kind of just moved up from there, and I think I eventually got backed because I got to the point where I'd won like $2-3 rebuys on stars like in 1 month, and that gave me like a 10K bankroll, and I had no idea what to do. I wanted to play like the biggest tournaments, so I found backing then, which I don't know if that was a mistake or not. Like looking back, I think I'd like to just have played on my own the whole time, but like I wasn't comfortable putting up like my own money at for those stakes.
Yeah.
You know, like $200 tournaments and whatever. But yeah, it worked out. So
So by like senior year of high school, you've been playing poker for a few years now. Was poker like at that point just the plan, or
no, I think, let's see. So I would have been like 18. That's like 2004. I didn't really start this. This all happened like when I was, let's see. It was like 2008 is when it was 2008 or 2009. I was working at Chase Bank and I quit my job to play poker.
Okay,
So
that was my job. If you've ever had a real job, I was
Yeah,
thinking,
that's what I was gonna. How old are you now, Dylan?
32, 33.
Okay. Okay. All right.
2 weeks.
And two. All right.
Yeah.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I wasn't playing for real until I was probably 18. And then, I was still playing like tiny little tournaments when I was 18. And then by 2009 is when I got started getting serious.
Okay.
So I was 23.
And you didn't have any other job other than cards by 2009.
Correct. Yeah, I quit my job. I was coming in late to work, calling my boss in the morning, being like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a little late because I was up, winning a lot of money."
Yeah.
And then I'd go into work and tell him how much I won, and he'd be like, "Holy shit! Like, really?" Yeah.
So once you were a pro, was it sit and goes, live cash, or you already MTT guy?
Yeah, it was just straight MTTs. I was just playing online at that point, before Black Friday.
Sure.
That's all it was.
I see. I just looked you up on Pocket Fives. I vaguely remember you had some nice scores, but here's a really nice one. You had a $168,000 score. When was that?
Yeah, that was Sunday Million 2011.
I think it was 2010.
2010.
And you got second, right?
Yeah.
And you, they asked if you wanted to chop, and you said no.
Yeah, I think so.
I love that, dude. I love that. Just fucking go for it.
Yeah, that's when I was kind of carefree and wanted all the glory, I guess.
Yeah.
Chopping may have been smart, but why not just go for it?
Yeah,
I already guaranteed a lot of money, so.
There's no feeling like shipping a tournament, especially in a moment like that.
Straight out right, yeah.
Just fucking win it all.
I think the chop wasn't offered until we got heads up. So, I mean, again, it would have made me $30,000 more, but yeah.
That's a big. I'm guessing this was a shit ton of money at the time, or right? Or
oh yeah. I mean, I was actually backed for this one.
Okay.
This was, I don't know, probably a year and a half into my backing deal, I think. But yeah, I'd already had some decent success. So, we just decided to go for it.
Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember the heads up, the final hand was, I don't remember if it was a final hand, but I had ace-6 to ace-9 all in pre-flop. And I flopped a 6, and he turned a 9.
Oh.
And he had got lucky on me a few hands, I think 3-handed. I think I would have just won the tournament if I want to say I had queens to ace queen suited or something, and he ran out of flush or something. But
Okay.
So long ago. I do remember that. It was a lot of fun. I think there's still a recording online of all the action.
Oh, that's cool.
On Poker Stars.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Black Friday hits.
What's that?
Black Friday hit.
Yes.
How much money did you have on there, and what was your? Did you have to move? I mean, what was your life plan at that point?
Yeah. So, there was nothing we could play online. I was stuck with Black Chip Poker, which is actually what I'm on right now. But yeah, so I decided to move to Vegas. I was dating somebody else at the time, and we were young. We didn't have any set plans or anything like that. We could pretty much do whatever we wanted. My options for serious poker were to either move out of the US, which I didn't think was smart, or it was just tough having a girlfriend at the time, or moving to Vegas. I thought those were my best two options. So I moved to Vegas and started playing live cash, some of the daily tournaments, and just whatever else was going on at the time.
Okay. What year was that you moved to Vegas?
I think that was so Black Friday was 2011, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I moved the next year.
Okay. Like so
Something
you've been
like
out in
that.
Vegas for
Yeah,
6 or 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years I think coming up this summer. It was right before the summer I moved, which was nice because I didn't have to, rent a house like we used to, rent a car and all that stuff. So yeah, I do save a lot of money doing that every year, so that's always nice.
Yeah, yeah. Where in Vegas do you live?
Right now I'm renting a place with my current girlfriend on the it's like North Henderson, I guess, like northwest Henderson, just southeast of the airport.
Okay. My brother lives in Inspirata.
I'm not familiar with. I've heard of that. Let me see.
It's southeast of the God, I fly into it. This is embarrassing. Henderson Executive Airport.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably pretty close to me.
So you're probably in between that one and the main airport, McCarran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
But yeah, it's a really nice area. We got a nice house we're renting. I think hopefully we're looking to buying maybe next year or something like that. But yeah, it's a nice neighborhood. Never really lived over here. I've always been like the west side of Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice over here. So we're enjoying it.
Cool. Got room for the dogs to play?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She's got plenty of room to run around.
Good. Good.
You didn't say girlfriend. You said current girlfriend. Does she have like a younger sister who?
I caught that too. I thought there was a
maybe I worded that poorly.
that I thought might be worth exploring.
Yeah, not sure if I worded that poorly, but
I always say the current woman I love that I'm humiliating myself in front of. That's
yeah.
Just so she doesn't feel that special.
We've been together for a little bit over a year now. She moved out here in October. She's looking for a job still. But yeah, she's enjoying it out here, so that's a lot of fun.
What kind of job is she looking for?
She just wants like
Something help with the rents.
yeah, like just something like normal, like 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. She doesn't really want like a bartending or serving job. She just wants kind of more of like a normal routine.
Sure.
But she doesn't really know like exactly what that is yet, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. She was in the car industry, like she was a finance manager selling warranties and closing out the deals back home in Illinois. She said she didn't really like that.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll just kind of she's looking. She's not desperate. It's not gonna like settle for something. She's just kind of waiting for something, the right thing to come along, I guess.
She's found her Asian sugar daddy.
That's right. Yep, right. She's actually outside laying out right now, so
nice.
That's her day-to-day life for now.
Do you just to go back? I know this. Did you study a lot when you were starting, or I don't even know what year TPE started. Like, were you a member there early, and that's how you kind of became friends with Mark and everything, and used that as a tool to get better?
I think I was friends with Danny first, and then he introduced me to Danny. Yeah, Noseworthy. And then he introduced me to everybody one summer, and we all just kind of got along. Kind of had like the same sense of humor, and just enjoyed like fucking, I don't know, just being silly, I guess.
Shuffleboard?
Yeah, shuffleboard, PTs, Blue Moon.
I was going to say IEOGs with Alioto, but
yeah. But I don't think I was a TP member. I think I'd seen like all the videos and knew like some of the pros at the time.
Okay.
My studying, what did I don't know. I just had like, I guess, a group of friends that I would always talk hands with.
Okay.
I don't remember like what I really did back in the day to improve.
Well, having friends who play poker is probably number one.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I think maybe like there were some training sites coming out. Poker X Factor, Card Player, I think, had a training site.
Card Runners?
Card Runners.
Yes, I was there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
I recall those.
Mm-hmm.
Watching some of those videos. I think when I first started, I was reading books. Started with the Super System,
Okay.
Harrington on Hold'em.
Yep.
Oh, really? I think those.
But
Were,
to play poker like the pros?
I don't know. I never.
Oh, you never got that one.
I don't
Okay.
think so. Didn't get like the
Theory
math
of-
ones either. No,
No.
none of those ones.
Okay.
I was never like a huge math person. I'm good at math, but I wasn't. I don't know. It's not like number one.
You weren't actually using it for your job, just to like compute baseball averages.
Right.
Using it,
Yeah.
saving that mental space for important stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think's your biggest strength when you're playing? Like what's your edge most of the time?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I don't know. I just think like always being able to find out where I'm at in the hand. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like just like hand reading and you know, if you get to the river where you know like you think like your second pair is good, like finding like thin value,
Yeah.
I think is pretty important. I think that's a good one. Being patient. You know, everybody thinks still that I'm like a super tight player. And that's just, I mean, it's just not the case.
If they saw your cards, they think differently.
Yeah, it's really funny though. Like everybody thinks I'm a nit. Like since I've been playing, yeah, I don't know what it is.
You're playing less hands than other people, but you're putting max pressure on them with the hands you do play, probably, right? Is that kind of
Maybe, but I still like open like you know what I should be opening. Like I'm playing the hands that I should be playing. I'm not playing like any tighter than anybody else. In fact, I'm probably like playing more hands than a lot of players would be. So yeah, it's just kind of funny that I don't know, description I guess of me is always stuck, but it's good. You know, it works out in my favor for the most part.
Do you 3-bet a lot?
Kind of just depends on the stacks, but yeah, I would say I you know have a normal 3-bet percentage, maybe normal to above normal, I guess.
Okay.
I'm looking at now taking a gander at your live results. You got some very nice ones, but I also see the first thing that jumps out is like 95% of your caches are in Vegas.
Yeah, I don't travel very much.
I want to give you a little fist bump there. That's if you're not traveling for tournaments, you're well ahead of the curve, I think.
Yeah, I don't travel very much at all anymore. It's definitely easier when you're single, that's for sure. But I used to when I was in Illinois, I would come out for Vegas for the summer, and then in Champaign, it's like the Central Vegas or Central Illinois, I would go to Chicago like two or three times a year for their circuit and their like local series. It's like a Chicago Poker Classic.
Okay.
And then when I came to Vegas, I would still go to Chicago or Champaign back home and, you know, make a trip up north for some poker. And then I think I went to Florida like twice, but that's pretty much it. I actually haven't even been to LA to play poker.
Okay, yeah.
You're not missing anything. Just guard towers and cholos.
Yeah.
That's about it. Anytime you walk out of there with the score, you're looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. But actually this year, the tournaments in Vegas, there's just been so much going on. Like I was primarily playing online, and there's just been something every week. There's just something going on. It's all been like good tournaments. So I've been
playing. You're playing a lot of WSOP.com now, right?
Yeah. At WSOP.com, you know, Black Chip Poker, which is WPN, ACR, whatever.
Okay.
I tried to get back on Bovada, but I just don't care for the synced breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That online's okay. They don't have that much to play. And then,
in terms of monitoring your results, I guess, do you have like a certain, I need $400,000 in buy-ins, or you know what I mean, for a year? Is there like a specific goal per week in terms of hours grinded, or is it just kind of you always get decent results as long as you play?
Yeah, I was keeping like good track like the first month of the year, and then it kind of slowed down because of the live tournaments. So everything just got kind of jumbled, I guess, and hard to keep track of. But
Sure.
But yeah, no, I don't really set like volume goals for myself. I just want to make sure like I'm playing when I need to be playing and like not forcing myself to play. I'm still on that train where, if I don't want to play or I don't feel like I'm going to play my best, I'm not going to play.
Like you're not going out to play a little daily today when you've got a day 2 tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I actually thought about playing online later, but I don't know.
Do you, so it's still though, almost all tournaments, right? Or is there a point where you're trying to get better at cash and grind some games around there?
I actually do play cash, like maybe like once a week.
Okay.
What do you play? What limit?
Just like 1-3, sometimes 2-5, just small. Like the games, like some of the, or like I guess all the 1-3 games have a straddle, so it plays bigger than most people think it is. It plays like a 2-5.
Where's this at? The Bellagio or?
Like Venetian. I've been playing at GVR, Green Valley Ranch.
Oh,
Okay.
It's like
I don't think I played there.
it's like 5 minutes away. The games are surprisingly good. Like
Really?
I don't know what it is, but people just love to splash around, and like the average raise is like $15 pre-flop.
Is it all local regulars? Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's occasionally
Okay.
some tourists. I ran into some of them, but yeah, it's still like a lot of like older, retired people that just love to just gamble and
Yeah, they got an extra $2,000 a month to gamble, and they do it.
Yeah, they like to try to beat up on the kids that are there. Like they have like that's their game plan is to try to outplay the younger crowd, I guess.
Well, that's excellent.
Yeah, but yeah,
That sounds like a good game.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's fun over there. It's a nice poker room. The manager there he was at Venetian for like 7 or 8 years, I think he said.
Okay.
Just a nice guy, and they have some decent promotions. So yeah, I do like playing there. And it's close. Don't have to deal with the strip.
Quickly, it looks like at least half your caches are from the deep stack events at the Venetian.
Yes, those have
Those
always
are-
been my bread and butter.
I always thought, I don't know, maybe this is just I haven't done great over there. So, but like, I always tell the story. The first week I went out there a couple of years ago, I played there and had like the very first tournament I sat down and had like Mortensen and Joseph Chung on my left.
Oh, perfect.
This was like a $400 tournament. I thought they were I thought they were just too overly pro drenched, but obviously you're plus EV in these things.
Yeah, no, I guess the Vegas crowd overall is going to be a little bit tougher than other places. I had my buddy from California come to play MSPT, and he like couldn't believe he had a really tough starting table, which was like pretty unlucky, but he couldn't believe like like all the familiar faces he was seeing and like how tough most of the tables were compared to California. So it's definitely tougher here, but I don't think it's nothing I'm not used to, I guess.
Right.
No, there's so many extremely bad players sprinkled in.
Yes.
It's just, you do have the rock stars, but there's so many people that are just
I mean,
horrible.
For every one good player, you have at least 5. Like
Yes.
Okay.
people don't know what
I was going to say day 2 of this event is going to be like 95% pros, though. I don't know. Is that?
Well, yeah, it will be pretty tough, but like
Right.
even like a lot of the pros are still like making a ton of mistakes.
Sure.
And my table yesterday wasn't that easy. I think throughout the whole thing I had of the names I remember, JC Tran, Lucky Chewy, Andrew Lichtenberger,
Yeah.
Daniel Strelitz.
Yeah, he's really good.
This guy, he was like a younger Asian guy. He just won a WPT. I had Dylan Lindy, who I think there was total like 4 WPT winners on my table. Darren Rabinowitz, who's a good local reg. But yeah, so it wasn't like an easy table by any means, but we got through and just played like solid. That's all you really have to do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Carlos has a very low standard. He's like, if he sees more than 3 people in the room, he recognizes them in a bag tournament. Where
He turns right around and goes play Bovada.
you're like, if there was only 3 WPT champs on my table for day 2, though, so it became much softer.
But yeah, no, when that happens, you just have to like you have to tighten up. Like I didn't play like a rock, I wasn't only playing aces, I bluffed here and there. But yeah, you do have to just tighten up. You just adjust to your table. There's so many different things you could do to overcome like little things like that. Like they're playing the same game you are, so
right, sure. You just had a decent score in one of those events. I don't know what you consider to be a decent score these days. I'm looking 6th place in a 1K for 37K just a month or two ago.
Yeah, that was the MSPT. Actually, I think their first one in Vegas, let's see, I'm looking at it now, was 2014. You see that one? June 2nd, 2014.
I saw that you had a pretty decent one right out of the box there.
Yeah. That was really sad. That was okay. That was that was over the summer where I sold like an online live package for the WSOP, included that. Back-to-back tournaments, I got 8th and 9th. Yeah, first in the Venetian was like, I think it was like 180.
Oh, wow.
I got 8th. And
oh yeah, I'm looking at those right now. Yeah, that's
9th in that 1500 WSOP was like 450. So
so you got 37,000 instead of 450. And man.
Yeah, just sad.
You're so close you can fucking taste it.
Yeah. You remember? Yeah, I was going to say that the exhilaration must be like almost what you feel when you finally sit down and you realize you're at final table there. No, I'm hoping to have that experience at some point, but who knows?
It's a cool feeling. It really is. It doesn't happen very often, just because it's really hard to final table live events, and there's just smaller volume. But yeah, I was super excited to do that, to final table that one, and when was that? End of January.
I'm guessing you remember your bust-out hand.
My bust-out hand was
from the main event. I mean, from the 1500 you final tabled in 2014. Do you remember?
I reshoved 9-10 suited in the small blind versus a button open, which I regretted because he was like a pretty big nit.
Okay.
He had aces, and the big blind had kings.
Oh shit!
Kings had us both covered, and he flopped a king or something, and would have busted the other guy if I just folded. Would have laddered a little bit. But I remember I think the flop was like, I had 10-9 of hearts. I think the flop was like king jack 3, 2 hearts, king jack of hearts.
Wow, got a ball.
Yeah. And then the turn paired the board, so I still had one out.
For the straight flush?
The straight flush.
Okay.
Didn't get there. But yeah, no, that was a fun tournament. Just wish it would have went better. Eighths and ninths are just the worst feeling.
Yeah, they're tough.
But yeah, the MSPT recently, that was fun. I got into an unlucky spot in my last hand there, but I feel like I played pretty well overall. And the final table was pretty tough. But that was fun. And yeah, I just had some good results this year, which I'm pretty happy about, especially like leading up into the summer. So
yeah, speaking of which, what are your plans for the summer?
I always like just put together a whole package for the summer for whatever the 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and I'll sell action, and I'll just play whatever I can. Like usually, I don't know, probably like $1,000 to $1,500 average buy-in.
Okay. And what percentage do you usually sell yourself?
Usually about half. Kind of depends.
Okay.
Half, maybe a little bit more, but
if you have a decent score, do you think that's always like half is just kind of your standard responsible thing to do? Or if you were to have a good score here, you'd want a bigger piece of yourself for the summer?
Yeah, I want to kind of structure it in a way that I can, if I do have a big score early, I can take a bigger piece of myself in something. But the way I just do it is I just sell for everything, and then just kind of have to keep whatever I have the whole time. Can't really, there's no way to have more of myself in later tournaments if that happens. You know what I mean? My only option is to just take more of myself in the main event, which I sell separately.
That's kind of high variance though, to put it all in one tournament. What if you did like the first 3 weeks you sell a package for 50%, and then if in starting of week 3 you're like, okay, looks like the next 3 weeks are going to be 50%, or maybe I'll only sell 10 or 20.
Yeah, I thought about.
If he wants to know how to use a fire hose, he'll give you a call. Try not to tell the poker pro you're out of dogs.
No, I tried. Okay, so last year was the first time I tried to do it weekly,
Okay.
but nobody really understood what I was trying to do, so it didn't work.
Okay.
But I guess splitting it up into 2 would make more sense. Half and half, like first half of the summer, second half of the summer.
Okay.
Is there, you think, just overall the last few years, less money, like harder to get backers and sell pieces of yourself? I don't know. I'm just anecdotally, there's one guy who gave me most of my main event a couple of years ago, and I was pretty much musto, and he pretty much said, I cashed, and he said, just let me know, I'll buy any action you got.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, he had a lot of coin, and he backed me for a couple WPT events, a couple 3,500, but I didn't cash. But then finally, I was, last summer I was looking for money. He's like, I'm out of that, and he was also always tweeting about Bitcoin. So I thought that was kind of a changer to the economy, where no poker player wanted to waste money on another poker player when they could have.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like money was flying around for a while Bitcoin was, in 5-figure range.
Sure.
But yeah, I think last year was fine for me selling. I think the year before that, and maybe like 2 more years before that, it was tough, but I was still like able to do it. I did have like one guy that kind of just stuck with me and gave me like a fair markup, but he kind of became a little bit nittier when it came to markup, and it was harder to sell. I didn't really want to settle for a lower markup.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think now poker economy is doing pretty well. It seems like anyway. I don't think, if any mediocre player was looking for action, or looking for investors, they're going to have a problem this year. Yeah, people seem like pretty eager to buy, and
okay, well that's good.
So yeah.
I got guys at work already asking me. So they just want the fucking action. They just want to gamble.
Yeah, for sure. No, people like that are great.
It boils down to.
Yeah. Steve, can I show up? I got some magic beans I want to sell. Actually, can I come talk to those firemen? Those guys got a lot of money to throw around, apparently.
Yeah.
You had a nice run in the main event a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I remember that year. That was fun.
Oh my god, that was one of the most intense things ever. I'd never had I want to say I made day 5, and I busted like first like 20 minutes of day 5. I had a chance to triple up. I think I only had like 5 big blinds or something. Just totally like withered away and late on day 4. Just couldn't find any spots and just came in. But yeah, I had a spot to triple up and bricked for my biggest score in the main event. It's like 80,000 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, just playing like, day after day after day, 12-hour days, and then like all the cameras in your face, and I think I did like one little interview, but it never aired because I got 79th.
Yeah.
If I had like
right, you win one flip in your story. You get
Yep.
Yeah.
What was your bust out hand? You just told us what your bust out.
It went open. I shoved 5s, and I think big blind woke up with ace king, and the other guy folded.
Okay.
That's about the best you could hope for with 5 big blinds.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a better scenario, and I can't think of one.
Easily the best spot I could hope for. I think he flopped an ace though, and I was drawn pretty thin at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was happy. I was sitting out in the parking lot. I think I got a check, and I was just like, man, it's nice, but
yeah,
just kind of just like start dreaming at that point, I guess.
Yeah. Well, out of 6,700 runners, 79th is pretty damn good, man. Top 1.1% or something.
Yeah.
I haven't looked. Has the Venetian and the Wynn and Planet Hollywood come up with their summer schedules? They usually do it like a month after the WSOP.
I think Venetian has, and I think the Wynn is coming out next week. I think he said April 1st is when they want to release theirs.
Now, putting together your summer schedule, are you like trying to go 100% value, or you're like, I want a fucking bracelet. I final tabled one of these things. I've gone deep in the main event, and your bracelet events will always take precedence when you're kind of putting a schedule together.
Yeah, for me they do. I do go like pretty value heavy. I'll play, I think all of the 1500s are good, WSOP.
Okay.
Actually, I think anything like, I think Win and Venetian will be 1600s, but anything 1600 and under is going to be good for the most part.
Right.
I tend to stay away from the 5Ks and up unless I've had like a score or something. And then even like, I think the 2500s are okay. 3K is kind of iffy for me. I would rather play like a 600 at the Venetian or the Win.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. When it comes to the summer, I don't need to play like the biggest events.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
And you're all no limit hold'em, right? Or do you play a couple PLO events or?
I've always wanted to play PLO, but it's hard to find like backing for those.
Sure. Okay.
So I could sell it like a very low markup, but I might play. I think they have a big PLO tournament this year. I might play that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like some PLO. I was studying it for a little bit with a good friend, but kind of it was just too much for me, I guess.
Sure.
Studying wise, I didn't really care to get better when it was taking away from my no limit game, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so you can kind of see like if you went through my tournaments that you won't see any like big tournaments unless it's the
main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, right around 1,000 to 1,500 average buy-in.
What do you think about their schedule there? I think it's kind of, what do they have? They got the 50th anniversary schedule. They got so many. I mean, it's great if you're a poker player, but like a lot of these are just, they basically have like 7 Colossuses now.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. They are raking in a ton of money. Yeah, I don't know. Like I do like them all. They're definitely all like really soft.
You playing have you played the tag team before? Unfortunately, I just agreed. I agreed to play with the first deadbeat that came along. So yeah.
And I was that man. So we're in.
How'd that go?
No, this summer.
This summer we're gonna play. It's gonna be me, Mike, and
okay.
another listener on the podcast.
Nice. No, that'll be fun. I've heard it's so much fun, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe this year, I guess.
We could go for the quadfecta, and then it's only a 250 entry.
So
what did they do? Did they hand out like 4 bracelets or 3 bracelets or whatever?
Everybody gets one.
Oh, okay.
I might be down for that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, there you go, Mikey. We got the pro in here.
I'll be the guy that plays one hand and then just goes.
That was Mike's plan. Apparently, I'm supposed to get us in the money and then hand it over to Mike or get us to the final 2 tables or something.
I don't know why I haven't played. I think it was maybe like that feeling of like guilt if I were to bust, or just like
Mike was just talking about that. Yeah, but I mean, how many of us have put money into a guy just to get a sweat, and then if he busts it, like, do you really care?
But you would care if you think you would have played the hand better. You know what I mean? Or if you were a bit more. I just gave the theory that in a tag team, one player should be much better than the other, so it's clear who plays day 2, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So if you have people at a similar level, it's like you're going to be looking at each other like, oh, First of all, of course, if everyone wants to play. So I said I only wanted to do it if I played with a total noob, where clearly they only play a little bit and I take over.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never really.
Or I find like an elite pro who just who wants someone to pay half the buy-in, and pretty much.
I think it'd be great for even little shit like you know what? I've been playing for 2 hours now. I just need a break. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll be back in 45 minutes. If you want to keep playing, go for it. Or I can take over in 45 minutes, but I need a break. Just that aspect alone. Oh my God,
Yeah.
As opposed to the teams that are not doing that and just one guy is just grinding it out the whole time. Like I can't see how that wouldn't give you an edge.
Well, that's how
I played. I played 19 hours of cash yesterday, so the tournament grind is never a difficult thing for me too much time wise, or maybe I'm giving myself too much credit. I mean, you mentally definitely go down, but
it seemed like there was a lot of like couples, like boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, wife and husband that were playing. Like
perfect.
The the
It's like
woman
the
would
softest
play like
field
just
ever.
for fun, and
Yes.
then the guy would just step in and just play the whole tournament out like it was a normal tournament. I think that happened quite a bit.
Well,
Not
see,
really
we'd have
sure.
to have an edge against them. I mean,
Hopefully.
one guy just playing the whole time, whereas like people constantly rotating in that are fresh.
Yeah. I don't really know what's optimal, I guess.
Well, Steve, at least you got me locked up because I could see me going into town and like trying to find some hot poker pro. It's like, oh, I'll take care of the buy-in. You get 70% of the win. Oh yeah, I'll scrub your car with a toothbrush, mow your lawn, whatever. Let's have fun. Bust out within 15 minutes.
Straight to the craps tables.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, so are you guys coming out here for the summer?
Steve definitely is.
I'll be out there June 8th through 25th or 26th, I think.
Nice.
Like
cool.
that, yeah. So I'll have a good stint out there. Mikey, he's agreed to come out for a week or so around the tag team event. I'm trying to extend that. Maybe by the time we get to episode 205, we'll have.
I haven't agreed to shit, Barton. Don't stop being a bully.
I'm just putting words in your mouth, Mikey. That's all.
Don't you do multiple trips, Mike?
Last summer, that's how I did it. Yeah, I came for like 10 days, left for a week, came back. I forget how much time. I was there enough time to lose 20,000 last summer. That much I remember. So yeah, I played quite a few events, but we'll see. I think, it'll definitely be different for me. I was talking to Steve where I'll be selling. I would have to sell like 80% of myself, which still might be, a decent deep shin option. And then if I can make a deep run in something early, maybe I can get a bigger piece later.
Yeah.
It's either going to be like, playing with a very small piece of myself or playing 2-5 at the Bellagio or a 500 cap somewhere, because that's pretty much where I'm at in terms of and bankroll.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather
do you have anybody you're looking forward to seeing in the summer? Any friends you only get to? Is it a social thing for you, or you know what I mean, where it's like?
I try not to like go too hard with the drinking and partying, but like when the TPE guys come to town,
it makes it tough. Yeah,
we'll have some late nights, that's for sure. I try to be responsible. It's
always, Steve. Well, I mean, I used to drink a shitload. I lived like a frat boy. I was 33, but now I'm kind of a lightweight. And I think I remember like the one night I went to the strip club there. This is the night where I woke up at like 8 in the morning and didn't know where I was. Like I thought it was like the middle of the night somewhere. We walked out like the sun's blowing, just piercing in my face, and Mark's, But I remember like Dylan like out drinking me right away. He's like, Mike, come on here, fill it up, and like I'm like trying to keep up with the likes of Dylan here. There's a bunch of little imps like him and Mark, buzzing around, and I
Mike's like 6'5" and I'm 5'6", and
I can't drink at all anymore.
I remember the last time we were playing shuffleboard at PT's at the last TPE meetup. I have a memory of our first shuffleboard game. And then that was about it. And I woke up the next morning and I found out that I took an Uber home about 1:00 in the morning with no memory of it. I know I went there with a few $100 and I had like $12 in my pocket.
You're wondering too why you woke up You're wondering why you woke up with a steel disc jammed up your ass too. That's probably, you're like, whoa, I thought we just played for money last night. I didn't realize this was truth or dare style.
Yeah, those things will happen, that's for sure.
It does.
That's the summer for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I do have a lot of poker friends that are coming out. Definitely the TPE guys, like I said. Yeah, it should be fun. Always something to look forward to, and it's coming up fast. So
yeah, I cannot wait. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
I don't stay on top of that. Have you put up any TPE videos recently, or?
No, I'm bad about that. They always give me shit too. But
you had one with Mark a while ago.
That was a long time ago.
That was a really, really good series.
Yeah, I did like doing that with Mark. I would definitely do that again. So last summer I wrote down. I played I think it was one of their first big blind ante tournaments, WSOP, and I wrote down some hands. And I I still have it, and I think I wanted to make a video, and I think it'd probably be a good time to do that. Even
Dude, now would be a
from last
perfect
year,
time.
like not much
Yeah,
has changed.
Andrew's just made a series like that, and it's really, really good.
Actually, I started doing. I put the hands on Share My Pair or whatever that.
Yeah.
Live thing was. I
yeah.
put some of the hands there, but I never really recorded any strategy like voice or whatever. So I started it, but yeah, maybe I'll finish that before the summer starts. So
Your notes might be old now. They might be like all brown and yellow, pizza grease cover, and you'll just be like squinting. Does that say call or 6-bet? I can't tell.
Yeah, I actually do need to go over those. I think they're decent notes, but probably not the best. So if I can make a good video out of it, I will. You know, give me a good refresher for some TP guys coming into the summer.
Yeah, you should. You should. And, you mentioned yesterday, it was just kind of a quick tweet on your in between your breaks of the tournament that you got a river bluff through. It sounded like it was kind of for all the marbles. Is it?
Yeah, it's for all of it. Let me find it. Let's see. Who did I text? I usually don't put hands on Twitter. I've had some requests to do that, but it's kind of hard to just type it all out while I'm playing, so I just don't.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, so I think I had like 50K at 300, 500 with 500 Annie.
Okay.
And the guy
like
on the
big.
Yeah, the guy on the big blind was like, maybe it was like, okay, well, whatever. The guy in the big blind was like a pretty big fish. He was like just like a middle-aged guy, just playing every hand.
An excellent opponent.
Yeah. So anytime I had a hand.
Please don't tell me you didn't have a Heads Up Poker podcast hat on, though, did you?
Yeah, it was a bright red hat on. I don't know.
There's some guy who could barely breathe through his nose with a Heads Up Poker podcast hat, and I said, good. I got all the information I need. No, sorry, finish the hand.
But so yeah, anytime I had a hand on his big line, I would open. I was the hijack.
Okay.
So I had King 10 off. I opened to 1200, and he calls. Flop was 10, 10, 6, 2 diamonds. He checks. I bet 1K. He called. Turn was the ace of diamonds, so flush draw just came in.
Okay.
I'm not too concerned about like him playing like. I mean, he's going to be playing a lot of hands from the big blind, and certainly going to have some flush draws on that flop. But I wasn't too worried about it.
You know, before you, why the down bet on the the flop? Just because it's unlikely he's got anything. You've just got this crushed.
Yeah, I can bet that amount with like all of my bluffs, and I think sometimes it can induce a raise. Okay. Which is great. We do want that.
Yeah. Would we flop 3 of a kind like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a size I would see bet with like a lot of my hands.
Okay.
So yeah, so turn was the ace of diamonds. So 10, 10, 6, ace, 3 diamonds now. He checks, I bet 3,800. He raises to 12K. And I was like, fuck, like, should I bet there? Should I bet that much? Like, kind of like questioning myself. And then thinking about the hands you could have, like, he probably has a flush. I don't know like what kind of hands he would be bluffing with here. But I had the 10. I had a lot of outs to a full house, and then I thought like I could bluff him on a lot of rivers too. So I called. River was a jack of diamonds. He bets 15K with like 20K behind, and so like I think I can have like literally every value hand here up to quads. I could have 10s, 6s, aces, ace 10, jack 10, all those hands. And when I put him on a flush, I just assume that he bet 15K with like 20 behind.
You could have a bigger flush too if he's got baby flush too.
Perhaps, yeah. I don't know that I would shove those, so I'm kind of just repping a full house or quads.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I tank and I shove, and and he looks at his hand and looked like he was about to snap call. He did like a big like sigh. He tanked for a while. He stacked up his chips like he was gonna put them in. I was like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then looked at his hand again. Then he folded, and I was like, ah, it worked.
Thank God.
It worked. I don't know what he had. I showed him. He was just kind of, I don't know, like just kind of the player that I wanted to show a bluff to. So I showed him the king,
Okay.
and just kind of made him like guess,
Yeah.
just, like, guess himself, and he ended up busting. Like just got it in like really bad, like an orbit later.
This is was this a soul read here? I mean, the guy's got such an incredible price to call here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what surprises me, that he only had 20 behind. And how much is in the pot at this point? Like,
well, even if he had like, I don't know if he can call. He just can't really call without
Without a full house,
less than a full house. He shouldn't anyway. If we had like a little bit more history, I think he could maybe call with a flush.
Yeah, he's not short stacked. Even if he folds, he still has 40 bigs.
Yes, that's what I told a friend was he stacked the last of his chips up and then counted it, so it's 20K. And that to me, like when he decided to fold, was like, well, if I fold here, I still have 20K. That's probably what his thought process was. He didn't want to put his chips in with a flush, call him off, and be wrong when he had a chance, with 20K left to, maybe spin it back up.
yeah.
So
Or punt it an orbit.
yeah,
lane.
which he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I did something similar in that Venetian a couple months ago, where I bluffed all in on the river with the nut flush blocker, and a guy snap folded a straight. He flopped a straight, and it ran out really good. It didn't, it ran out really good for him. But yeah, if I have a spot like that and a buy-in behind,
Mm-hmm.
I'll usually go for it. Like if it seems good, I'm not really afraid to take it. So sometimes I can be a little hesitant, and maybe like if I do like happen to miss one and then look back at it, I'd be like, oh, well, I kind of fucked up there. I should have went for it.
Yeah.
But like lately, I've just been going for it.
So you would probably regret not taking one of those spots then, rather than taking a spot and running into the top of the guy's range.
Yeah, I mean, it just has to feel right. And again, like it kind of goes along with like all the hand reading and just
knowing where you're at in the hand.
Yeah, and then just kind of executing. That's like the biggest part. Is people will get themselves in those spots and just kind of puss out, I guess. When they should just be going for it. I think Jason Kuhn had a video. I can't remember what it was for. I don't know if it was Run It Once or it was like one of his like, I think he was playing a lot in Macau. He came out with a video like not too long ago where he kind of talked about that, and it was kind of a little bit inspiring, I guess. He's always been like a poker role model for me.
Okay.
Oh,
cool. I haven't watched any of his videos. I know he definitely made some for Run It Once, but I didn't.
All of his Run It Once videos were pretty good that I watched. I'll have to find that one again. The recent.
Now, playing with all these great players yesterday, do you learn anything? Or I mean, is there a point where is there any point during the day or whenever or any of these events where you're like, wow, that's an interesting way for this guy to get max value, kind of shit, or is it?
It is funny. The Dylan Lindy, I think that's how you say his last name. He got into a spot where against the guy that I had the bluff against, where he turned two pair, where there was like 3 to a flush, and he raised in a spot where I didn't think that not that he shouldn't be doing it, but that it wasn't something that people, like everybody would raise in that spot without like a flush, I guess. The guy, so it was like 9-7 deuce ace.
okay.
I think the fishy player bet out, he raised, and the guy ended up shoving, and then he called with ace deuce. There's 9-7 deuce ace, 3 hearts, and so he raised and called a shove, and the guy had ace 10 offsuit.
Wow.
But I was like,
No,
wow.
no
It's like, well,
Don't
that's
flush
how you get
it?
all your chips in these, huh?
Wow.
But yeah, so I don't know what I'm getting at. I guess that, they just, everybody's just
They
gonna
just have more
find,
money.
yeah.
I mean, that's
No,
what, like, basically, yeah, I think Assassinato was talking about that. A lot of these guys are successful. They just happen to have a little streak early where they get to get a big piece of themselves.
mm-hmm.
For, everyone has a couple big scores. They got a bigger piece of themselves, and then maybe keep a little streak and have a couple, and they have.
Yeah.
We get to see them on TV for these reasons. They're not really that much better than a lot of people.
Yeah, no, that happens too for sure. Like some guys will go on a heater and start winning everything, and then
Although he's very good.
yeah, he is really. He's been like one of the top players for a long time. But
How fast did he call when the
he tanked for a while.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it wasn't a snap.
No, not at all. And I was actually like when I saw the other guy's hand, the ace 10, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't need to do that.
Yeah, that seemed unnecessary.
But yeah, no, I didn't really see anything like too like that unusual, I guess, that I haven't seen before. I think a lot of the best players are more aggressive pre-flop. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Like, there's obviously different like ways to analyze a hand and all that, but it's hard to pick up on a lot of things like not playing that many hands live. So
sure,
I didn't really like see anything that I guess I didn't really learn anything playing with them. I don't know. I don't mean for that to come off cocky, but
yeah, no, I guess
it
that
sounds like you're generally describing them as like they're keeping the betting lead. They're slightly more aggressive than the field.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but yeah, like I said before, we're all playing the same game, so if they have a slightly higher level of like studying and like like doing maybe like different things here and there, but I think like I'm close to the same level as some of the players that have had more results, if not on the same level. So
yeah,
I'm always comfortable playing with pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
Sounds like you still like the game.
Yeah, I enjoy it, man. I really do.
So it's never like anytime you start that online grind, 90% of the time you're just kind of excited to play poker. I mean, that's quite an asset.
Yeah, and that comes from also like I said, not forcing myself to play. Like
okay.
if I it's just something little, like if I didn't sleep well, if I'm not comfortable, if I like my body doesn't feel good or whatever, I'm not gonna play. Like I don't want to sit down and commit myself to 5+ hours of mediocre poker. I'd rather either study or just like take some time for myself and do whatever else I need to be doing or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a feeling you're not one of those guys that has a dramatic story like the 17th floor of the Flamingo trying to bust your way through a window just to take a flying leap there. Those are the poker stories I want to hear, but nobody.
I don't have any of those.
Nobody lives their life like that other than me. So I'm disappointed.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's not me. It's funny. Like, I actually thought about that the other day. I was like, do I have any like really like crazy or fun like poker stories? And unfortunately, there's like not really like anything like super crazy. I don't think.
Well, what was your low point like bankroll? Was there ever a point where you were just like living off credit cards for 3 months, just hoping to scramble back to where you were kind of in control of your life a bit? Or?
Probably like I definitely had a very low point here in Vegas. Probably it was probably actually around the time I broke up with my girlfriend.
Okay.
So that was like 2015. But then like once we broke up, I kind of had like another like surge of motivation. So
do you do anything to try to fade variance there? I mean, you play greater volume and more lower buy-ins, or you make yourself play cash 2 days a week? Or I mean, is there any when you're kind of swinging low? What do you do?
Yeah, I just had to like just like motivate myself and just know that it's likely a downswing, and There's always people out there that'll support you, whether it's backing or giving, like, helping you study or whatever. So just keep plugging along. There's nothing else you can do in poker. You can't you can take a break, but like that's not wise all the time.
Sure.
You're like the little engine that could.
Yeah, just always got to be grinding, I guess. Something. But yeah, I've had some low points, that's for sure. And that happens.
Mike's always got to turn to the dark side.
Well, I try to, I always try to, when I'm upset with poker, I'm trying to this is like, I could be in a plane tumbling to earth with Steve laughing in the driver's seat. It's
I'm the optimistic Zen, like
situations.
And Mike is Anakin Skywalker to the dark side.
I know, I do. I've noticed that for sure, Steve. You're always happy. You always got a smile on your face. Always optimistic. and then Mike.
I think that's why this works, because we're so opposite.
Yes, it does work. It works really well.
That's why our friendship has remained for so long.
Slowly and reluctantly, I'm beginning to see Steve's optimism as not a sign of, it's not a character flaw necessarily. Steve might actually have been lobotomized, but he still has, a positive outlook on things. And
it's not a character flaw. That's so great. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, gentlemen, I actually got to wrap this up. I got to get going. But
perfect.
This was a blast, Dylan. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. I look forward to seeing you guys this summer.
Yeah, I can't wait. If you guys want to follow Dylan, he's at the Dylan 186 on Twitter. Do you do coaching or anything, Dylan? Or
I always got some time for coaching if anybody's interested.
Okay. Is Twitter the best way to get a hold of you, or should they shoot you an email, or what?
Yeah, Twitter works, and then we can kind of go from there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so hit him up, and
good luck tomorrow, man.
Good luck, man. I am rooting for you. I will be glued to my Twitter. Cannot wait. And thanks again for coming on.
Yes,
and thank you, Mikey, and thank you for tuning in. Here is your weekly motivational speech.
How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Because everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart, and all that will be left of you is what was in your heart. My choosing to free people from concern got me to the top of a mountain. Look where I am. Look what I get to do. Everywhere I go. I'm going to get emotional because when I tap into this, it really is extraordinary to me. I did something that made people present their best selves to me wherever I go. I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion. Like many of you, I was concerned about going out into the world and doing something bigger than myself, until someone smarter than myself made me realize that there is nothing bigger than myself. Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. How do I know this? I don't, but I'm making sound, and that's the important thing. That's what I'm here to do. Sometimes I think that's the only thing that's important, really. It's just letting each other know we're here. Reminding each other that we're part of a larger self. Your job is not to figure out how it's going to happen for you, but to open the door in your head. And when the door opens in real life, just walk through it. And don't worry if you miss your cue, because there's always doors opening. They keep opening. And when I say life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, I really don't know if that's true. I'm just making a conscious choice to perceive challenges as something beneficial so that I can deal with them in the most productive way. You'll come up with your own style. That's part of the fun. Oh, and why not take a chance on faith as well? Not religion, but faith. Not hope, but faith. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire and faith leaps over it.